Chitra ma'am for this opportunity, and Manoj sir has made my task a little difficult. But anyway, I'm about to speak on diversification. So in business terms, diversification is when an exciting entity tries to branch out. It can either be related or unrelated. Related is when an organization sticks to its core strength. Unrelated is when an organization or a team tries to explore completely new products. So this Ansoff matrix helps us to understand this. One can try existing products in new markets or new products in existing markets. But diversification in the true sense of the term would mean trying new products in completely new markets. So moving from one box to another calls for a specific set of requirements and know-how on the part of the organization involved. As an individual, it always pays to learn something new, just as Manoj sir was mentioning, and have different streams of income. That may include exploring options outside of ophthalmology. This is called unrelated diversification. Related diversification is where an individual ophthalmologist tries to learn new skills related to his field. So looking at it from an organizational level is what this talk is about. So in broad terms, diversification in the present context is when an existing hospital tries to branch out. As we look around us, eye hospitals, I mean large corporate chains and smaller individual setups are pressing ahead with branching out and diversification. And that is well and truly understandable because the possibilities when you diversify are endless. Most commonly, an organization will explore new streams, new physical locations, and it would try to add expertise that was previously absent. For example, a retina setup or a refractive suite. The general idea when planning diversification is to cater to a completely new market, to address the needs of a new constituency. So in doing so, what is the particular organization aiming to achieve? Growth, of course, that is there. Growth in revenues, growth in patient flow, and growth in brand recognition. The hospital can also optimally utilizes existing resources for a larger benefit. For example, technology, manpower, and equipment can always be shared between the centers. Most importantly, the hospital can cater to new patients, especially geographically. People are comfortable if they can receive care in their own town or somewhere close to them. Now, that was about the positives. We can also prevent some negatives. We recognize that in any business or any venture, there are many unforeseen circumstances that can hinder us. COVID, for example, now, with the lockdowns and restricted movement, a geographically diversified, lean organization would have probably found the going much more easier compared to a heavily centralized organization. So diversification can also be looked at as mitigating the risk. Now, the most important point that I would like to deliver is that by diversifying, we are making an attempt to go closer and to be more relevant to the people who buy from us. Now, when I say closer, I mean both geographically and need-based. This census map, which I pulled out from Wikipedia, shows that a large proportion of our population still lives outside cities. So in any sale, it is very important to understand that people buy value. Yes, but people are also conscious of the cost incurred. Now, you might have heard of the term CTC or cost to company when somebody is hired. Now, this is something similar. The cost to a patient is not just the direct cost in the hospital. It includes distance, travel, food, a person accompanying him, relative losing wages, all that. In an ideal situation, if the same facility was available in their locality, in their village, in their city, they would have taken treatment there rather than traveling to a larger city for this particular purpose. Something similar works in our field as well. We offer daycare, but then multiple visits, moving around in an unfamiliar place, interacting with unfamiliar people is not very welcome. Now, if people are not disturbed from their milieu, they tend to be more receptive, and overall they tend to be more satisfied with the whole experience. The fundamentals remain the same. Offer a good product at an appropriate price. The key is where, at a place where it is needed the most. So the classic P's in business are now transforming into E's. Give a good experience, routinely evaluate and refine the performance, try to be present close to your patients, let your work and results speak for you. The crux is in identifying needs, providing opportunities, and creating value where it is needed. And for that, diversification will be invaluable. Thank you for the opportunity.
Very good debate combination. Both of you did your job very well. Any Dr. Manoj, you want to question him? You have anything to ask, or you're all tired at the end of the day?
No, not at all. But this is altogether two different things. Like an allopathy and Ayurveda, both are best at their own places. You cannot compare with this one. If someone is liking the diversification type of practice, he can be. While I was a solo practitioner like Natarajan sir or Anaga madam, we have excelled in our practice as a solo. This is just a mindset. This is just a mindset. If you like a group practice or a diversified practice, someone likes in the government practice, someone wants to be in a corporate practice, altogether it cannot be answered with a few points only. What are your basic inside things? What inside values tell you? You can act accordingly. Nothing is wrong or nothing is very perfectly right. Thank you, madam.